Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and welcome to Eclectic Alchemy. On this channel, I talk about a whole ton of different things, and I have different playlists for each of the topics that I cover. I've mentioned on other recordings that this station started out to be a place that I could record things so my future heirs, my grandchildren, my great children, grandchildren, or whomever in my family would get to know this person called Beverly Fells Jones. And to them, I am Mimi. But I am welcoming you on for the ride too, because what I share are things that I hope will enlighten you. I want you to know that you have been given the power of word and thought to create the life that you desire. And so, over this past couple of years, I have been reading you stories from a particular book called Manifestations, True Stories of Bringing the Imagined into the Reality. And I've also started reading you stories from internet places like Quora and Reddit because I want you to know that when you set an intention, when you believe in what you desire, that truly the law of attraction works, you just have to be open to it and your belief level must be there. But I want you to know that you have been doing this all of your life unconsciously, not deliberately, because you didn't know the formula. But it works in all of our lives. And so today I'm reading another story from the book Manifestations, True Stories of Bringing the Imagined into Reality. And I'm reading a story by Dr. Saida Desilets, and it's called Finding Your True North. Now, who is Dr. Desilets? Well, he's an author, or she's an author, counterculture creatrix, an advocate for women's sexual sovereignty, and as a psychologist specializing in women's psychosexual well-being, she supports women to embrace the messiness of the human experience while exploring their inborn erotic genius for pleasure. When she isn't leading a wild women in the wilderness safaris in Africa, you can find her dancing to her individual rhythm or writing deliciously sensual poem. And to reach Dr. Saida at Dare Your Desire, that's all one word, dareyourdesire.com or thejadeegg.com, and I'll put that down in the comments. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being here. If you're subscribing, please be sure to hit the bell so you're notified when I put up some new video. And please hit the like button so that Google will share this. I also want your comments below because I want to know what you think about these stories and how you feel or how it affects you in your life. Okay, I've talked long enough now, so let's get started. Finding Your True North by Dr. Saida Desilets. Nothing was going right. The more I pushed, the less happened. And I was on the fast track to getting sick. Then I remembered what I desire desires me. What I desire desires me. Not if I'm switched off and stressed. That hardly is magnetic. I learned early in my life that it was my ability to relax, soften, and allow that would magnetize what I desired far faster than trying to willfully go for what I wanted. That tended to shut me down and tighten my body and my awareness. This was when I made the conscious choice to go against my obsessive tendencies to keep pushing and stopped everything I was doing. Instead, I switched off all my devices and went to the beach. Oh, I like that. All right, so she just switched it off and said, I'm not going to worry about this anymore. I'm not going to keep pushing, right? I'm not going to, and I'm speaking for myself now, I'm not going to keep going out into the garden and weeding and fussing with the plants and everything. They'll grow, right? So she just switched it off and went to the beach. Now, the beaches in Greece are some of the most beautiful in the world. They are raw, wild, and exquisitely breathtaking. As I slid into the silky Mediterranean Sea, I was aware of how all the pushing had me unable to feel my body, never mind be able to tune into what truly mattered to me. Suddenly, ripples of pleasure moved through me like the rising pulses of a sweet and unexpected orgasm. I let this exquisite sensation expand by focusing all my attention on the sensations of the water on my skin, while absorbing the azure beauty I was immersed in. I slid into the sea further, deeper, until I had to float. This is where I completely let go and reminded myself that nature is my best teacher, and now it was time for me to listen to her. Slowly, my inner ocean started to move, my heart relaxed yet passionate, and I painfully realized I'm only being used 10% of what I could be. So in the quiet of my being, I spoke strongly with the ecstatic joy of knowing that by voicing what mattered, I would experience it as living truth. Use all of me. I'm all in. Send me the right people, the resources and opportunities, and use 100% of my genius. I felt a wave move strongly through my being and outwardly radiate until I couldn't tell the difference between myself and the world around me. Suddenly, I was no longer overwhelmed or scared. Suddenly, I felt as though every cell of my being was vibrating with existential confidence. I had touched my true nature and purpose. After a few additional moments of stillness, I felt the urge to move, and I swam until I couldn't swim anymore. Finding my cozy setup on the rocky beach, I laid down to absorb the escalating excitement of what was already moving toward me. When I finally reached my phone, there was a message from a close friend who decided to include me on a dream project, which would require 100% of my genius to be part of it. And then another opportunity came, a chance to bring the genius of my work to South Africa, a place I feel is like a soul home for me. And to make things especially poignant, over the next week, I was offered 3 additional incredible opportunities. Wow. Now that is allowing the law of attraction and letting go and just saying, use all of me. I'm all in. She said, send me the right people, the right resources, opportunity to use 100% of her genius. Wow. Think about this. Have you done that? Have you just asked and let go and just asked for your people, your job, your home, your mate to be just sent to you in a way that you're not pushing and prodding and working hard in getting that? let's continue on with her story. Manifestation is the result of being in the right relationship with our desire. Desire isn't what we have been taught to believe it is. Rather than the source of humanity's suffering, desire is like an ambivalent source of nature that impacts every single one of us. It's such an intense and intimate force that it's nearly impossible to ignore. Hmm. Desire is like an ambivalent force of nature that impacts every single one of us. This piece that she has just written reminds me of Think and Grow Rich, the class that I teach, the book study from Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich. And he talks about desire. He's got a whole chapter that talks about desire, and this is the type of desire he's referring to. The problem isn't desire itself, she says. The problem is when the ideals, expectations, and mandates of others shape our desire. Now we're going for something that's a little left of center, something that will fail to hit its mark. So what to do with our deep yearning? We pay attention. We must become aware of the things that light us up, and not only name them, but start to say yes to those crucial hints that pop up day in and day out, and then we must dare. It is through audaciously standing for what deeply matters to us that we break free of the influence of hijacked desires and finally allow our true desire to take place as our true north. From there, we begin to engage in an intimate and profoundly gorgeous relationship with life itself. Boy, I just love her energy, because I just feel it. Can you feel the energy there, and the joy and the happiness and the anticipation that she has for life? She continues. It's at this point we start to recognize that manifestation is not the act of making something happen. Let me repeat that. Manifestation is not the act of making something happen, but the profound experience of co-creating with the mystery of life itself. An invitation into co-creating with desire. Step 1, she says, curiosity. When things are not flowing, when we ache for something to emerge, when we know there's more to this than what we currently know, it's a call to grow quiet and be curious. Pay attention to the presence of enthusiasm as it signals that we are being touched by something greater than ourselves. Name it and follow that. Number 2, acceptance. When you sense a desire that is deeply touching you, say yes, especially if you cannot fathom how it will come to be. Let yourself feel the tenderness of vulnerability and whisper your yes in the privacy of your inner heart. Your yes is a signal that you are willing to receive the inspiration and co-create with it. Step 3. Daring is needed here because often true desires don't conform to the ideals around us. Things will have to change, and at times radically. Being daring to stand for what you desire will support you in moving through self-doubt. Remember, we are all descendants of those who dared. We are meant to live extraordinary lives. Every single one of us has a unique gift and a unique life path, and all we need to succeed is to begin to recognize that we are not alone, that life is doing us, and to follow the breadcrumbs that show up. When something we ache for arrives, we say, "More of that, please." This is awesome. So 3 steps to co-creating with desire. 1, curiosity. 2, acceptance, and 3 is to dare to step out of your comfort zone. Oh, I absolutely love this story. I'm glad that the universe said today is the day that we do this story. You know, I've told you before in previous ones, I pretty much open the book and say, okay, which story do you want me to read today? So this one was Finding Our True North. But personally, I think that the title, this wonderful title, should be What I Desire Desires Me. Because that's how you want to think. What you desire desires me. So, again, this is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness. Please subscribe, hit the bell, hit like. Please share this with people that you know are interested in this type of information, or in gardening, or in cooking, or in Harry and Meghan. I got playlists for each one of those. So, as you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so, and I will see you in the next video.